I got this in the other day and I have been flipping this thing a lot. I really enjoy it so far, but let's take a pretty quick look at it. So you'll probably notice the backs of the pivots are now double-sided. And I'm not sure if they're gonna do that on other models, but it's pretty nice. I'm probably gonna switch them for some standard pivots because I like the look better, but functionally these are pretty cool. They are T8 on this side and T10 on your screw side. I do have one barrel taken out of each handle. I prefer the more neutral balance, and I know a lot of other people are running them this way. But yeah, it looks and feels great. It balance is really good. I like the balance a lot on this thing. It reminds me of the Slift V2 a little bit, which I'll kind of mention a little bit more later. I brought some knives out to compare this thing to, but I'm really glad that they ended up doing bushings in these because I've always really liked this V2 Tonto bare bones blade that they did. But something with the bushings as well, I heard that they were going to start making them bigger in their knives, and I know that they made them a little bit bigger in these, which might account for the amazing tune that this thing came with. Like, it's still, after like a session or two, it's still tuned really well. This is probably one of the most solid knives that I own, and I'm like actually very impressed with it. But yeah, this thing's definitely great. The only con I will say that was kind of apparent when I did get this is mine was a little bit sharp on the Zen nipple, which I took some sandpaper to, and it took me like 5 minutes and I fixed it, but I haven't really heard anybody else complain about that or have any issues with it. And honestly, it wasn't even that bad. It was just I was being picky and I knew that I could fix it pretty quickly to my liking, so I did. But that is something that I did want to mention. But yeah, overall this thing is really good. I brought some knives to compare it to. This one is my hammer Alpha Beast. It's a thin Alpha Beast, and the reason I brought this one out is because it is a thin Alpha Beast, and I noticed that, I don't know how well it picks up on camera, but I noticed that the thickness of the thin Alpha Beast and this new Ti-bones is pretty much the same. So if you like thin Alpha Beast, you'll definitely like this. Now I will mention, with the old Ti-bones that didn't have any bushings in it, it was a little bit thinner. It weighs like 4 ounces, and I think this one's 4.3, so a little bit more. If you get the new Ti-bones, you can take that blade and those bushings out and just put them on the old handles, and then you'll have like a thinner one if that's something you want to do. I tried it because my roommate has one of the old Ti-bones and it was really good, so do with that information what you will. But kind of comparing this to my standard Alpha Beast, this one does have some barrels in it, so it might not be like a 100% fair comparison, but it's, you know, still good enough, I guess. This one has the S35VN thickness handles, which are like a tiny bit thicker than the thin Alpha Beast. I don't know if you can tell like the thickness difference of these on camera still, but yeah, this thing, it doesn't have an S35VN blade. I think they just used the handles that they produced for those blades on this one, or I don't know what they did, but it's really good. This is probably one of the best Alpha Beasts that I've tried so far, at least in my opinion. This one is 4.8 ounces. This is 4.3, so it is quite a little bit heavier. This one feels a little bit more handle biased as well. But yeah, I mean, seeing as how they both are, you know, bushing run knives on Ti slabs, and they're, you know, around the same price, I felt like it would be, you know, a good thing to compare these two. They are a little bit shorter than the Ti-bones, the Alpha Beast, that is. Just overall, the Ti-bones is a little bit bigger of a knife, which generally I like smaller knives, but larger knives are cool too. I will say that like knives with long handles, they tend to do stuff like chatters and tricks like that where you're like rolling over. They tend to stick to your hands a little bit better, and I really like that about them. I kind of also brought my Slift V2 to compare this thing to, because they flip similarly. Like, they're different enough to be different, you know, knives, obviously, but I think it's due to the handle length and where the weight is on these knives that makes a difference. Like, this one's 4 ounces and this is 4.3, so you can definitely feel that this one's a little bit heavier, which I have been leaning more towards this a lot. But yeah, your handles are pretty similar in terms of length. I mean, the Slift is a little bit longer overall, but that also might be why I like this a little bit better, because it probably fits my smaller hand a little bit better. The thickness, the Slift is probably about as thick as the S35V and AB. I don't know, let me check. Yeah, they're pretty similar. They're pretty similar. So it's a little bit thicker, but I mean, both knives are great. Yeah, that's kind of my overview of this thing. I don't really have much else to say about it other than it's really good. You should get one. I definitely don't regret it, and I'd like to get another one, maybe, because I know I'm gonna beat this one up and be sad about it that I beat it up. But yeah, I'll kind of just flip it a little bit and give you guys some sound test of it. Overall, I think BRS did a really good job on this. But yeah, that's, I guess, all I have to say and show you about this thing. So thanks for watching.